Hi members of the Quakers Running Club, it's Nick Watson, the physiotherapist. Here we have a short conversation just about hips and hip function, hips being very important for your running. So something to consider and think about first of all, bring your attention to is when you are standing, you stand on 2 feet. Very obvious, okay? What I want you to notice is what happens when you lift a foot. As soon as you lift a foot, there is a weight shift, a transfer of weight. Bring the foot down, you come back into the center. So you're standing now, your center of gravity is somewhere behind your belly button. When you lift a foot, your body weight and your center of gravity will shift under the supporting foot. 2 feet, shifts back, shifts across, shifts back. So first thing, just assess and feel how much weight shift do you have? Is there anything unusual going there? Is there some sort of hoik over of the shoulders, or is there some sort of thrust of the hips? Okay, it'll be individual to you, just to be aware of it. Second thing to do, just in terms of checking hip function and roll, looking at if you bring your leg up to 90, can you keep your pelvis level standing on one leg? Okay, it's fairly non-specific testing because there's ways that you could cheat. You could lock out the knee. You lock out the knee though, see how the shoulders might lean, they might do something else. If you soften the knee, you may gain some motor control of the trunk and be able to stay upright. So just again, very generic, non-specific tests for hip stability. Taking a little step further, this is where we start getting some interesting information. Once if you squat down, okay? We're looking for your hip to be able to control and keep your pelvis level without your knee diving across. All right? And try your other leg. Assess your weight shift. It'll hinge down. Come back up. Okay? So, this is all a large demand on your glutes. If you do it fast enough, single leg stance is pretty much running. If you stayed in that position, there's running, okay? So to wake up these hips, wake up these glutes, there's a information sharing from the floor, all right? The contact of the feet on the floor will affect what happens further through the chain, through the leg. Depending on your footwear and what shoes you're wearing, etc., that will affect how your leg works. Not going to go into that. However, to give you some further information as to what's going on, I'd just like you the hardback book, nice firm book, or solid floor would do a similar job. Basically, when you stand on it, you'll be acutely aware of the pressure changes under your foot, especially in single leg stance. You'll feel the pressure rolling under the front of the feet, through the heel, etc. If you have your dip, you'll be more aware, and the glutes might actually work better because you're on a solid surface. So, to make this into a form of rehab or exercise or what have you, what you can do is a very simple split squat. Now, if you remember a few weeks back, I did a hip hinge video. Just to remind you, a hip hinge, think of the hinge in the hips, keeping shins tall, keeping this sort of motion from here, okay? We're going to look at a split squat, but standing on your book or solid surface. So, you're standing on one leg, thinking of keeping that standing shin nice and tall, we're going to fall through that hip. If you are suffering with knee problems at the moment, hip problems, back problems, or any grumpy issues, all I'd like you to do is take a step back with the foot on the floor. Little step back, see how the hips hinged, step forwards. All the work though coming from this standing leg, push into the book and be very attentive to the pressure under your feet. You want some pressure under. Ball of foot, big toe, a little bit into your heel here, the lateral outer edge border of your foot. You might even become aware of the arch of the foot working, and that's kind of the point of this, okay? So getting your glutes to work to drive your pelvis forwards. If you have a happy, healthy leg, by all means, you can slide this other leg back on the floor here, slide it back, and you will see we get a deeper hinging motion coming. The spine is nice and long, pushing into the floor. And because we're sliding the foot, you can't actually use this foot on the floor. Very much glute specific on the standing leg. Okay? All well and good. However, when we run, we have what's called a cross-lateral pattern. Opposite arm, opposite leg work together. So, turning the book to the side so you can see that. We've just been doing a forwards, backwards plane of movement slide. So the shoulders stay level. Very much hinging from hips. But if you want to incorporate some cross-lateral pattern, okay, it's the way the nervous system works as a movement pattern. If you have an unhappy back, hip, leg, knee, whatever, I'd like to reach across with the opposite hand. So if you're stepping back, stepping back with the right foot, step back, bring the right hand to the outside of your left knee. Come forwards, okay? And what this does, really the key thing is that your shoulder comes forwards, creates rotation through the trunk. That's a proprioceptive stimulus for your core muscles to work. Okay. If happy and healthy though, slide back, touch down onto your book, and stand. Okay. Now make it more dynamic, more additional rotation into the trunk, and you'll feel a nice, healthy, hearty glow in your supporting standing hip. Okay. It's a simple way to wake up your glutes. Nice bit of strengthening, bit of activation for those muscles. So, I've been Nick Watson, physiotherapist. I have a virtual clinic running at the moment. If you have any niggles or problems, give me a shout. I'm also running my virtual Pilates classes, physio-led Pilates classes. The space is available in the classes at the moment. Visit my website and you will see what is available. Okay, hope you have a good week.